It's the Foxes going live here. Josh went in to the store to use the little boy's room and to get me a Dr. Pepper. We are road tripping. This is road tripping with the Foxes. And we just pulled into the gas station here. We're about an hour and a half into our ride to the Serpent Mound, Ohio, to meet up with some friends and have a day and a half of, hey Casey, good morning. I hope you can hear me okay. There's a truck idling next to me here. Let me see if I can get my, let's see, top chat, live chat, all messages are visible. There we go, that's better. So he went in to get a drink and I'm gonna wait to get back. We figured we were gonna live stream while we were driving. We'll see, great. We'll see how this works. We woke up this morning, I literally just threw my hair up in a ponytail and I'm like, let's get going. We have about a 4-hour drive. We're about an hour into it and we are going to Peebles, Ohio to visit the Serpent Mound. We're gonna stay at a cabin tonight and we're gonna head to the mound tomorrow morning. There's summer solstice festival. It's a 3-day festival there, and some fellow YouTubers are gonna meet us there and we are excited. But me and Josh, we were our first hour here driving and he just starts, he's on one of his kicks. He's just having a good old time, just talking about all kind of different stuff. So we wanted to cover a couple topics while we were driving. We thought would be fun. So we're just waiting patiently here for him. I know, you're not that far, Casey. You could take a little ride north to Ohio. It's just southern Ohio. You could meet us there. We're not gonna actually meet up till tomorrow. Shannon's gonna be there tomorrow. So his river runs to me. She'll be there. She's coming up, I think she's leaving today later and we'll be traveling and we'll get there tomorrow. So we're gonna meet up with her there and Seven Spalding and I think Leanne Ross is gonna be there. Allie Berry's gonna try to be there if she can get a vehicle by tomorrow, and it's gonna be a great time. So I'm just chilling here waiting for Josh to get back in the bathroom. So, oh yeah, oh awesome, you were just chatting with her. I know, we're so excited. I'm excited because we're gonna see what's gonna come of it. We really made a point this time not to put any expectations on it. Oh cool, that's great. We're not gonna put any expectations on it this time. This will be our third, I believe our third trip to Serpent Mound. And each time it's been very different, and you know, we go to these places as kind of part of a mission for us. And I actually brought, let me find it here. Where'd they go? Oh, here they are. I actually brought rocks from this time. Let me separate them out here. I'll pull them out. We got time, right? I got two. Our last trip on our Pilot Mountain wheel, we went to Stone Mountain, Georgia, and I got two pieces of the granite from Stone Mountain. Every time we go to a place, I collect some of the rocks and we place them at the other points on the wheel, which is kind of fun. So, and I also brought some rocks from Pilot Mountain, from our last trip to Pilot Mountain. This was a piece of, it's kind of like a slate-ish type piece from right at the knob of Pilot Mountain. Oh, thank you, Casey. This is a piece from Pilot Mountain there. I'll leave a piece. I've already left a piece of Pilot Mountain at Serpent Mound last time I was there, but this is from a different trip, so I'm gonna leave a little piece there at the mound, and then a piece of granite from Stone Mountain. Whenever we went to Graves Mound in West Virginia, I left a piece of Pilot Mountain there, but I didn't get anything to bring from Graves Mound. It was just a grassy mound, and sometimes our trips are quick, and I didn't think to grab anything from there. So I didn't grab anything from there, but it's okay. Its energy will be there with us as we go to each of these points. Oh, I saw the necklaces you were making. That's awesome. Yeah, absolutely. And I brought so these ones I'm going to leave at different places at Serpent Mound, wherever I feel led to leave their little pieces of their energy there. But then I brought some of my own personal. I brought to charge up. I'm going to charge up this is my pink quartz, rose quartz crystal pillar that I love. I'm going to take that and give it some, I'm going to leave some of my energy and pull some from Serpent Mound for there. And then I also I brought, this is my Moldavite heart, which is one of my oldest pieces. And this is my Moldavite heart. Yeah, I love it. This is one of my oldest pieces. Casey's here.
Hi, Casey.
He's sending us his energy for our trip. He was just talking to Shannon this morning.
All right.
So this is my Moldavite, which can't see through the light, but it's actually transparent through light. And so I'm taking that there to charge that up. And then I got, this is, what I say these were called again? I don't know. These are cool. These are, I forget the names of these. I already looked it up and I forget. CRY, I forget what they are, but I love them. He said, good morning, Josh. So we have 3 of these. One's mine, one's Josh's, and then one's Donna's. Donna couldn't come on the trip because she's staying back home with the animals and with my son Jude. And this is the 3rd one. She wants me to leave hers at Serpent Mound. She was with us on our last trip to Serpent Mound. So she wants us to leave that. And then this one here, I have, this one here, I'm trying to tell Josh I brought this one. This is just a piece of, I think it's just white quartz. And this is whenever I had ordered some, oh, let me turn that off. I had ordered some iLife from Chris and Cherie Geo. And this was part of whenever they went to their, hi Super Dave. Whenever they had went to their Egypt trip to reset the matrix and they went to the pyramids, whenever they make their iLife, they have, they send you one of these with it, which I think is great, and it holds their energy. So I thought that would be an important thing to take there too. Yeah, it is beautiful, isn't it? So that's from them. So I thought that was kind of neat. So we just thought we'd just chat while we were driving. Let me get Josh a little bit of the picture there. There you go,
okay.
Josh. He's like, he don't care.
Drive more than anything,
yeah, he's got to pay attention to the back roads. We're going to take, instead of going down through Indianapolis, we decided we were going to, around that Indianapolis loop because it stresses me out even being in the car on that loop, let alone drive. I'm glad I'm not driving it. It's one of me and Josh's points of contention. Whenever we're road tripping is whenever we have to go around city beltways because, hi A-Y not B. Say hi, Josh.
Hi. I was turning, sorry. I was getting
That's
ready.
okay. And then, so we tend to have some tense situations. Hi, Scott Severini. Whenever we're traveling and we get into, what do we want to call those?
Intense energy
Scott.
situations.
Intense energy
situations.
Yeah, it's not. So it can be a little bit tense for us, and I get a little bit frazzled, and
I feed off of her.
And he feeds off of me, and then I get upset, and anyway, so we're avoiding Indianapolis. We're avoiding Indianapolis so that we don't have to have that be hanging on us as we're getting to the Serpent Mound. So we were talking about, I was going to put it in the title, but I didn't. I was going to put it road tripping with the foxes. Put on your polarization glasses. Because me and Josh were talking earlier about his new, let me put the windows, thank you. his new findings on polarization and this reality. We had our live that we called the green screen of this reality, and that brought up some things, some topics that had to do with how we view this reality and how we see things. And so I don't know, Josh, if you want to add anything about the polarization or what you found.
Hold on.
Okay.
I will.
He will in a second. He's getting on the map again.
No, I wanted to look something up.
Hey, Kenny G, how are you? Nice to see you. We're heading to meet up with Seven in Ohio. We're staying at a cabin tonight, and then we're heading to Serpent Mountain tomorrow. So I will send him your love. I'm sure that you're giving, Kenny. Nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. So, polarization. Kenny,
So, something about polarization. One quick thing about polarization. If you look up the word and like some meanings of it, one of the things that they say about polarized lenses is it how you perceive this world. Okay, my theory on the polarized glasses is it comes from the Roddy Piper They Live. And in They Live, he finds a pair of sunglasses, he puts them on, then he can see past all the illusions that are in front of him. Well, my theory is that with polarized lenses that are of good quality, that we can see past some of the illusions that are in the sky that they've placed upon us. Because the milky white skies that we've been getting, it's just like an LED or LCD screen. An LCD screen has a polarized film in front of it. If you pull that film off, all you'll see is a white haze over the whole screen. You won't be able to make out anything that's behind it. But then as soon as you put that polarized lens or piece up on that screen, you can see the picture clear as day. Anyway, through my experiences of just really cheap, poor polarized glasses, know and believe beyond a shadow of a doubt that there's a shadow up there behind this white milky haze that we keep getting. It's not there all the time. It is there, I think, every time the sky is a milky haze white. And I just haven't found a good enough set of glasses yet to get past all the murkiness. But yeah, you can see through some of the murkiness of things. So anyway, going back to the definition of it, or the thing about can change your reality, your perception of reality. Well, is it changing our perception or really showing us reality? What we're really being shown, or what it really should look like, you know? Because all a polarized lens does is it keeps the light from basically being so scattered. So with this mist up here, they're scattering the sunlight so much that it makes it super bright. Yeah. And so that super brightness takes away from it hits your eyeballs and you can't see. You won't. It's really easy to fool the eye, basically. You can fool the eye real easy with just manipulating the light. Yeah. So if you oversaturate the eye with too much light, too bright, then you're not going to see anything that you're meant to see. That's part of why I think they're chemtrailing. There's multiple reasons why they're doing it, but I think that's one of the reasons, is to obfuscate this so that you can't see. They're saying it's for solar remediation, but I don't buy that. I don't buy that. If your frequency and your mindset's in the right direction, or your mindset in the right place, I don't believe that the sun can hurt you. I don't believe that you'll get cancers from the sun. I believe a lot of these cancers and different things that they're saying is from the sun, is from the shit we're putting on our skin or we're ingesting or things of that nature. I don't think it has anything to do with the sun. The sun gives us life. The sun is life. If without the sun here, we don't have life. Without water here, we don't have life. Those are the two key components to growing anything, from humans to plants. So why would the sun, to me that doesn't make sense. It's not that it doesn't or it won't hurt you. If you buy into that and if you let yourself believe that shit will happen to you, then yeah, it will happen to you. It's a placebo effect. See, we're told these things all the time. We're giving the explanations for everything. we just don't understand those explanations most of the time, because the way that they're used isn't the proper way that they should be used.
Yeah. Tell them about that picture, or when you saw in the sky, whenever part of this revelation about the polarization, and when you had that video or that picture of the sun, and then you adjusted it on your phone.
Yeah, I adjusted the polarization on my phone to bring out there's a picture I have of the sun, and it's milky haze covered.
Yeah.
And you can see the sun ball. So it got me, I was drawn to the picture. I was like, yeah, there's something here, or drawn to taking a picture of that. So then I sat down and I actually got to study the picture, and I started messing with the contrasts and different things, and nothing was coming up until I got to the polarization of the film, of it. And what I had to do was bring the brightness down, and then I don't remember if it was up or down on the polarization, but anyway, one way or another, and that actually brought whatever was in the background to the forefront. You can see the outline. There's a perfect circle above the sun, and then there's another almost perfect circle. If there wasn't bigger, thicker clouds in front of it, there's a darker black circle. So we had one, it was about 1 o'clock, and then the other one was about 3 o'clock. It might have been more about noon, 1 o'clock, 12:30, somewhere in that position. And then the other one was down lower around the 3 o'clock to maybe 4 o'clock position. And that was just here recently on a picture. But
Yeah.
there's been days where I could just feel it, and I look up and there's the shadow of it in the sky. And I only see it when I have my sunglasses off. You take sunglasses off, then the sky is too bright. Even like on an overcast day, the sky is still too bright for your eyes to pick up that kind of stuff, because you're being bombarded, overloaded with the brightness of the light, and your eyes just can't focus on it. They know this. They know all the ins and outs of how to manipulate. It's an illusion. Just like everything else, it's an illusion around us. And the more we buy into it, the more that illusion becomes a reality. And because we're creators. And so, but we don't realize it. Most people don't realize how much of a creator we are. And that's why they sway and try to get a mass number of people to do something, because especially if it's something that's not natural or goes against the natural will of things.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they need such a group of people to get behind it, because they need all that energy to create it. Without that energy, it doesn't happen. It'll either go stalemate or it'll go in the opposite direction, depending on where people are putting their energy. But see, we're not taught this. We're taught that it's this, that, and the other, and we're supposed to do, all kinds of confusing things instead of just keeping it simple, stupid. They want to keep us so confused that we can't make heads or tails out of nothing. And even like when the Bible says, oh, there'll be mass information or knowledge and everybody will be confused and da-da-da. Well, that's because you choose to be confused. You choose not to sit and take the time to know what's your thoughts and what's of this world. We don't take the time to sit and think and meditate on the different things that are being shown to us and given to us, and the different lessons that we're supposed to be learning from every day. Every day has a new lesson. It doesn't have to be some life-changing deal, but there's something to be learned from every day. Our choices bring about consequences. Our choices bring about not necessarily consequences. Consequences, see, that's the thing to remember. Consequences isn't necessarily a negative word. It's put in a negative context all the time, but that doesn't mean it is. Consequences are just the result of someone's actions. So when you look at it and don't put any dogma on it or any kind of stipulations on it, and you just look at it for what it is, every energy has a reaction. Everything has a consequence. And so whether it's good or bad. So if we're moving forward and trying to get that in the right direction, then most of this stuff that they want us to worry about is not a worry. It shouldn't be using up our energies.
Yeah.
We should be using these energies to grow and become better and look around us and learn, and then from my experience of things, by doing this, then there are more things that are open up. My eyes can see these things, and your heart can feel these things. And it's basically getting back to nature. If we get ourselves back to nature, we're going to see past any of the man-made stuff, because we're in the frequency of the true reality here, not of the frequency of the illusion. Anyway, I lost my thought. 5G'd me.
It didn't 5G you.
No. I just lost my thought for a second. Oh, what is she taking? I'm sorry, I also had to look at the map. The map's actually what got my attention. Okay,
yeah,
Jackie's
but if we
taking
don't,
over, 'cause
I'm
I
not
gotta
taking
drive.
it. Yeah, you're drive for a minute.
No, drive, yeah. You're
For a
taking over
minute.
the video.
Yeah, I'm taking over the video for a minute. But if we don't, but when it comes to like seeing these things, like Josh said, if you don't take the time to actually sit with it, as the information's coming in, as your reality is being shown to you, because as you know, we've talked about before, my reality is different than his reality, and it's different than your reality. How you view things or how you see things, and literally we've come to the point where literally how you visually see things could be totally different, because we've come across things where we've actually we've had squabbles about things, or we've had just non-understandings about things because I've seen something in a way that's been totally different than him. And you know, and we'll literally go back and forth about it. I'm like, no, it was like this. It looked like this, or it was visually one way, and he was seeing it totally something visually a different way. And hi, Fourth Wall Observer, nice to see you. I look like Renee Zellweger. Yeah, she's one of my doppelgangers. She's one of mine. I'm not one of hers, by the way, because I'm an original. But in this reality, it can get to a point where you can't say for sure anything 100%, because it might be 100% your reality, but it might not be somebody else's 100% their reality, and we can't. The veil's thinning in the dimensions and the frequencies where they are now. It can cause a lot of confusion, and like Josh was saying earlier, we can't be not judging people, but we can't hold negative energy or you know, any type of condemnation or any kind of you know, I'm right, you're wrong type of attitudes anymore. We really have to let that go, because it's our reality doesn't mean that it's their reality, and because we feel like it's the right way, or this is the right path, or the way, hi Yoki Grower, because we feel like this is the way to get from point A to point B for
we're right,
me.
you're wrong, and nobody else is.
Yeah,
right.
that doesn't.
This doesn't work.
It doesn't work. It is so against what we are supposed to be doing here, and you can't make someone see through your eyes. Your eyes are for you. Your eyes only. For your eyes only.
Yeah.
When we're seeing visions, when we're having visions, and me and Josh have talked about this before too. You know, if I'm having a vision, if I'm having a revelation, a vision, a dream, and I get super excited about it, and, you know, and I'm going to share it, and I share it with him, and he's like, yeah, that's great, Jackie, but you know, that's for you. That's not necessarily for me. I don't really need to know that. I don't need to see that. We are heading to Serpent Mound, Ohio, from Indiana. We're heading towards Ohio, Okie, and we are meeting up with some other YouTubers there. We're all going to meet up tomorrow, and we're going to spend the day in nature in a place that the ancient Indians in 2016, I say he woke up in a new reality 2016. Thank you. Hey, there's Leanne. See you tomorrow, Leanne. So we're heading there where the ancient Indians, so we were told, built this mound, this serpent-shaped mound in Ohio for observance of
The summer and winter
solstices. So we are heading on pre-solstice, the weekend before the summer solstice, to meet up with some people and share our energies there, and we'll see what happens. Yes, a village will come together for the better. That's absolutely right. So we're all trying to come together, and we figured while we were driving, we always have great talks while we drive. Things just, when you're in the open air or the closed air conditioning air, we try to take off the beaten paths routes and to get to where we're going. And so we thought we would just share our conversations with you on our ride here. And so we just hit the live button, and that's kind of where we're at. But as we were talking about not holding people in a negative energy for what they're going through, what their path is. And, maybe their path is to be stuck in a certain place that they are finding fulfillment of in, even though it might not be where you feel like they should be. Oh, they know better. They should know better.
Yeah.
But if they're finding peace and happiness and fulfillment in the space that they're in, whether it be spiritually, physically, whether it's with their job or not job, or living in a city and as opposed to living out in the country, or not doing as much nature, not living as purely, that might be their path. And who are we to say that's not a way to evolve for them? Or maybe that this is their lesson that they need to learn, that they need to learn their lesson. And speaking at them or telling them what we think or how it should be could actually be causing them harm instead of help. Now, if they come across our path and their ears are open and their eyes are open and they're ready to hear something, well, that's totally different.
Yeah.
That's totally different. But we can't. My point is, we really have to stop with the negative, putting negative on people, putting that out there for those who do not agree with what they're going through, what they're speaking, what they're feeling, and just holding that energy of it's not right. Because, like I said, everybody has their own path. Everybody has to see it for themselves. And yes, be the Jesus in you. Absolutely.
Right. Who has the right to tell anybody that they're right or wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Like when Jesus talked about, I'm not a big. Let me put it this way: I'm not a big Jesus guy as far as I have to believe in him to go to heaven. I don't buy all that stuff. But the teachings of Jesus are very important. I believe there's a lot of great things that he taught us.
Thank you.
One of those things is that he who has no sin casts the first stone.
Right.
So if you stop and think about that, that's not just about sin. That's about whatever you think somebody's wrongdoing might be. And the reason he says that is because we all fuck up. We all fuck up every day. We're not perfect, and one of the reasons we're not perfect is because we've been told our whole life we're not perfect. So of course we're going to take on that mindset of it. But back to the Jesus thing, we've all been in that person's shoes one way or another. We've all perpetuated that energy that person might be spewing. We've all been there, and we have no right to sit and chastise people because of it. Now, we have the right to hold people accountable for their actions, especially if they're in our bubble and our circle of things, and they're stating things that this is the way I want my life to be, and change and growth and things like that. It's our duty as family and friends to make sure, we hold the person accountable. But holding somebody accountable for their actions and the things that they say they're going to do is different than being judgmental, putting a yoke around their neck for their actions, because we're here to help each other, not to harm each other. That's one of the biggest things that Jackie's taught me, is that it's okay to defend, but then once you cross that line and you start attacking somebody and you start going after somebody, then you've gone too far. That's not our place. That should all work out by the natural laws of things. It's not our place to sit there and do that. If that person's energy is rubbing us that way, then we move the other way, in a different direction. We don't have to sit in that energy. You know, when they talk about toxic energies or toxic people and stuff, that's not everybody, and we all will spew toxic at some point in time. Doesn't make us a toxic person, but we don't have to sit there and put up with it. We have free will to walk versus standing our ground and trying to fight with the person or carry on with the person.
Prove your point over and over and over again.
If they don't see it, if they don't see your mindset, or if they don't understand your mindset of things, they're never going to see it. They're never going to truly understand it. And if they don't want to open their minds to that, they're definitely not going to see it. I mean, there's nothing you can do, like leading a horse to water. Just because you take it to water doesn't mean it's going to drink, and you're not going to hold its head underwater and make it drink.
Right.
You're probably going to get your ass beat by the horse. So, you know, and that's what happens when we fight with other people and try to make them understand or make them see, or, you know, we end up in a fight, and who gets their ass kicked? It's us, because we're the ones that have opened ourselves up to those energies more, and we end up getting our ass kicked more so than the person we're trying to help.
Yeah. And then there's the thing which, you know, we've kind of recently went through is, so you decide, you know, you're around someone, you decide that the energies are just not where you want to be, you know, and so you pull away, and then sometimes what happens is the other party, the other person or people get offended, or they find ways to put it on you, like you said.
Yeah.
You end up being the bad guy when what you're doing is just, you know, it's not that you think they're doing anything wrong, it's just that your energy, you just don't want that in your energy field. It's not any good for you, and it's not any good for them. And sometimes if you're forcing something, it is definitely not going to have a good outcome. And to know yourself and to be able to carry through with that it's a good practice, and it's a good learning lesson too. And it's just hard. I know for me, because I live so much out of my heart space, it's hard for me to do that, because I always want to give people, you know, the benefit of the doubt over and over and over and over again. Hi, Emily. Good morning. Thank you. You know, I always want to give them the benefit of the doubt, and then I just want to give them another chance. Well, maybe it's me. Maybe it's something I need to do or work on. But when the energy isn't right, yeah, I really feel like you're really not supposed to keep putting yourself back in that energy. I mean, and you can.
But it's insanity if you keep coming up with the same outcome. That's just insanity. If you're doing the same thing over and over again and expecting and getting the same outcome over and over again, and you think that every time you're going to go into this is going to change, that's just insanity.
Yeah.
You got to move on. You got to put your energy somewhere else. And then if that situation's meant to be, it'll come back. If you're meant to face it again, or if you're or if there's more to it, it'll come back around.
Yeah.
It's not going to go away.
Right. Yeah. If that person is really meant, or those people are really meant to be a part of your journey and part, you know, in your life, then it will come back. And if when it comes back it's different, that's great. And if it's not, well, then you kind of
look into it a little deeper.
See if it was something on your part, not that you needed to work on. Somebody had asked, we're heading to Serpent Mound, Ohio. I'm sorry, I have a tickle in my throat really bad. We're heading to Serpent Mound, Ohio, Peoples, Ohio. So we're heading there now to meet up with some people. So but anyway, so we recently went through this.
We're going to meet up with. We keep saying just people.
We're meeting up with some other beautiful people, other YouTubers here. We're meeting up with Seven Spalding, and we are meeting up with Leanne Ross, who's here in the chat, and we are meeting up with His River Runs. Wait, how do you say her channel? My River Runs to Him.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like it's Shannon. She'll be there tomorrow, and possibly Allie. My River Runs to Him. And Allie Berry, possibly. We are pushing really good energy that she gets a vehicle in time for tomorrow. And who else was there? Anyone else coming? And lots of you in spirit will be there. I feel you already. So that's where we are heading. Oh, he's checking the map real quick, and I'm readjusting. Uh-oh. The map is a piece of junk. Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. And whenever we go there, the last time we went there, we met with yeah, I hope she does get a car too, Emily. Last time we went there, we had a really, every time we've been to Serpent Mound, this is our third trip there, or is it our fourth? I think it's our third.
This is our fourth
I'm coughing
trip.
again, sorry.
No, this is our this will be our third
trip there. The first time we went there, it was just Josh and I, and it was not a great experience because we had expectation of what we were going to feel there, the energy of the heritage of what Serpent Mound is. And from already reading, like, this is another thing about whenever you do too much research on something ahead of time, and then that puts expectation on it. Hey Sassy, it puts expectation on it, and I think we had too much expectation of what it was going to be and what we were going to feel when we were there. I hate roundabouts. Hold on, I have to hold on for the roundabout. I hate roundabouts.
Silly.
I hate them.
She's silly.
They make no sense.
They make no sense.
They make no sense, and they're scary, and they're not
that's-
clear. They're scary roundabouts.
No.
But we had expectation when we got there. We had come from Pilot Mountain first, which had some awesome, beautiful energy, and then we went to Serpent Mound on our way home from Pilot Mountain, and it was such a diverse, different type of energy and we were already kind of tired from driving for, I don't know, 9 hours, 8 hours from Pilot Mountain. And what Josh found was he felt anger when we got there, which I thought was from me. No, it was not. Do you want to explain how you felt the first time you were at Serpent Mound?
I could feel all the lies. I could feel the deceit and the corruption in the place. You can almost feel the land and our forefather, our ancestors just screaming at the lies that are there. Because it's way more than they want us to know. That was a very great and grand place in its day. They don't want us to know that. They want us to think it was just a sacred place for the Indians, and it was a sacred place for all of us. It was one of many sacred places that are all over this earth that are meant to, in my opinion, make us great again. And if we could rediscover these places and bring their energies back to their pure natural forms again, that we, like Trump said, we would make not America great, we'd make the world great again. But we have to, overcome these lies and this bullshit, and that's what I felt the first time I was there, was just the lies. You can feel the energy of it. You can feel that everything around you that they're telling you, every sign, every person that's believing it, is just all false and fake. There might be a little bit of truth in there. That's one of the reasons why it sticks so well. But the overall majority of it's just bullshit. When the Smithsonian comes in and then tells you what they're going to tell you, and you get nobody else's explanation, or nobody else's explanation counts, then that's what you end up having, a place of deceit and that energy, and that's how they keep that place, in my opinion, desecrated. That's one of the reasons why you'll have that energy. Now, once you get past that and you let go of that and you don't give that no more energy and you focus on the place itself, the place itself is still very pure. No matter what they do or try to do, they can't eradicate or eliminate what is naturally there. And so they try to hide it and put an illusion on top of it. So
and commercialize it.
Right. So we don't ever put two and two together and realize how great of a place this is. The Indians know, but they only put it on what they know. It's like only for their ancestors as far as they can remember back, which by this point, a lot of their stories are not quite true or not. It's not like the Indians are trying to mislead anybody. It's just the fact that so many generations have passed that things have become lost, like everything. So when they're talking about these great things that this place does, that's just the tip of the iceberg of these places.
Yeah.
And anytime you have the Smithsonian involved in somewhere,
Hi, Allie.
which is just about everything as far as it's of importance, then you're never going to find the truth.
Yeah.
You're never going to have the full truth, let's put it that way.
Yeah, and if Allie Berry just got in chat here, we're hoping we are knowing she's going to get a car soon.
It's happening.
Before tomorrow, it's happening. But if you guys want to check out her channel, Allie Berry's channel, she's actually reading, she's doing an audition. She's doing a narration of the book off Serpent Mound. And one of the books written, which is actually a better version of representation of what Serpent Mound is. But anyway, check her channel out. She's in chat now. It's 10:10. Awesome.
10:10.
So the first time we were at Serpent Mound, that was our experience. We were only there for a total of what, 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Probably 30
We got there
minutes.
late.
We got there later in the day because we had traveled from Pilot Mountain to get there, and then we left to go home from there. Now, our second trip there, we got to meet up and have a nice meet up with Seven Spalding, and Donna Flagg was there. Eldon was there, who was Emon 8 YouTube channel, and Scott. Why's my mind just went blank on his last name?
Gear?
Scott Gear was there, and so there was a bunch of us there that day, and Faye and her husband were there. So we had a large meeting the second time we were there, and it was a lot of really strong energies all at one place at one time, and a lot of us could not handle what was going on with all of us in all our walks at the time, and it was less about the mound and more about us dealing with our own shit. A lot of us, all of us, dealing with our own shit, and we all came together at different points in our own self-discovery, and all came together, and it was not bad.
Right.
It was not good, and it was chaotic. Is that a good word for it? No, it was.
No, because it really wasn't chaos.
No, it was ups and downs.
It was close to chaos at times.
Yeah.
It was. I don't know. I look at it as it was a good example of what we were just talking about others' energies and stuff.
Yeah.
You can get along, you can talk, but when you get your energies together, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to mesh. On a conversation level, that's one thing, but then once you get in the company of each other, doesn't mean you're always going to hit it off.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're going to vibe properly. There's always that chance of that. And that was kind of what it showed to me, that not everybody is always as they seem, and others may be more than they seem.
Yeah.
And
what year was that the second time that the group of us all went there? Allie wanted to know.
I don't know. That would have been.
It wasn't long. No, it wasn't too long ago. It was a year. It was summertime. It was hot.
Was it?
It wasn't last year, so it would have been 2 years ago.
Before, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been 2 years ago, so that would have been in
summer 2020.
Yes, because I moved here in April of 2020.
Yeah,
and
summer of 2020.
Yeah, it would have been summer of 2020 or late summer, somewhere in there. Yes, that was the last time we were there. And there's 11 people in chat with 11 thumbs up. 11. Dude.
Sorry.
I missed that comment, Allie, right there. I was trying to read as he turned.
My GPS is acting crazy.
GPS, I love that with GPS. It seems like you're you got a little bit to go still, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, turn here now.
Or what I'm having problems with now is it doesn't want to keep on my route. I keep setting the route and it keeps changing my route back to the other route, and I don't want to go that way, and it won't quit.
It says there's a stop sign up here.
I know.
Okay. So anyway, so now we are on. Yeah, there's not there.
There's
so,
no stop sign.
So now we are on our third trip to Serpent Mound, and this one came about. It says there's a bunch of stop signs, and there's no stop signs here.
There's not a one.
That's crazy.
I bet it's over this hill.
This one came about. How did this one come about? 7
wanted to go, and then we said, well, okay, let's go.
Yeah. So then so 7 wanted to go again. We said, yeah, we're definitely going to go again. And then we realized we're looking for a weekend that we had open. So we saw this weekend, not realizing at the time when we scheduled it that it was the summer solstice weekend. It was just a weekend where we didn't have his girls until Sunday, and that I could get off work, and so that was all working out okay. So, and then the ball started rolling from there, and then it seemed like there were a lot of people being called to come here at this time. We good now? Oh, 3 hours and 33 minutes till our destination. 333. Yay! This is what we're doing. So we're road tripping and chatting.
Yeah, we didn't plan on the solstice. It just happened to land on that day we picked, and we realized after the fact that we were actually going to the solstice.
Yeah.
But the sad thing is that freaking Serpent Mound 2 years ago stopped letting everybody go. There's no more. Yeah. You can't go to the mound during the solstice, like the sunset or the sunrise. They used to 2 years ago allow that to happen.
Before COVID.
But quote unquote before COVID, you were allowed to. But then COVID hit and you weren't allowed to no more. Well, actually, that had been before COVID, because that had been 2 years ago. So they actually started that before COVID even hit. But here's the reason I think the reason they don't want us on the hill during the solstices is because they don't want us to know that it's off. I don't think the sun's going to be where it's supposed to be. Nor do I think where the moon's supposed to be in the conjunction of things. I don't think it's going to be where it should be. And they know this, and that's why we're not allowed on the hill. Now, I'm not saying the workers there know that, but whoever has decided that, no, you can't come there no more during that time. And here's the thing, it's not like a bunch of people fucked it up for somebody, or even one individual. The head council person for that kind of stuff for the state of Ohio, he's the one who said, nope, you can't come there no more. And they keep telling, there's a festival there that's this weekend, and it's the local Indians and other groups of people that are putting it on. And they were the ones that were allowed to do that. They were the originators of going there and letting people come and see and having tours during that time at the park. And then they all of a sudden just, nope, can't do it no more. No real explanation, no reason why. They just told everybody they couldn't do it no more. Maybe next year is what they keep telling them.
Yeah.
And then it's been 2 years now, and they still won't let them. And then this year was another, well, maybe next year. But anyway, if you let people see, then then the cat's out of the bag. And once the cat's out of the bag, then you got questions. Then they have to answer for their misdoings. And they sure the hell don't want to do that.
No.
But like I said, back to what we were saying before, a lot of these people that are doing these things, they don't even realize what they're doing. They don't realize they're perpetuating a lie. They don't realize that they're helping whatever system to keep moving forward. In their mind, they think they're doing their job. They think they're doing something good. They're preserving a park, a piece of history. These people don't. That's why we can't be mad at them, because like Jesus told us, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do, because that is so true. They do not know what they do, and it's not their fault. Yeah, we have free will and we can choose in different things. But when you have been manipulated and lied to, you show them examples. We can do all these other things. But if their eyes and their mindset is already set in a certain way, it's going to take God to get them to see it. It's going to take a smack aside their face. And some people, I believe their souls just aren't ready for it. Some people's souls are babies as far as being able to handle any of the actual truth that's in this world. Their whole inner self couldn't handle it. They probably self.
Why are you turning? Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh, I don't know why I'm turning.
No, turn here.
No.
I thought maybe they wanted to take you a different way.
No, I'm just jabbering and just driving. And
It just felt like you wanted to go that way.
I did, and I don't. Maybe it wasn't my GPS. Maybe it's me.
Maybe. We don't know.
Anyway,
I know, I'm sorry.
She's good for that one.
I'm so terrible. I try not to, but I was looking at that.
I know.
It's
like good. It saved us probably from going the wrong way.
Yeah. So it just seems funny to me that, and even whenever we had went the last time, it was even locked down further because I think it was closed at 4 o'clock. We had to be out by 4 off the property at 4. It was like even earlier than now. Now I think it's 5 o'clock. So you have a place where it's supposed to be observance of these sunrises and sunsets at certain times of the year, but they won't let you on the property at either of those times.
Makes no sense, but it's our park. It's our national place, but you can't come there when you want to. You can't come and see what it was meant to do. You can't be a part of none of that. No, that would make too much sense.
Yeah. Yeah, because it might be almost dark and it might be scary. Something bad might happen to you because,
you're in the dark
in the middle of in the middle of the woods, kind of in the middle of the country. So it's countryside. So and we were talking about the Smithsonian and the idea that we really wonder what they took out, because their narrative is that the Smithsonian came and the Smithsonian came and took
everything.
But what?
They undug. Well, yeah, we don't know.
But what did they take? I'm like, they took the eggs out of the snake. What is it that they took out of or that they took out of a Grave Creek mound in Moundsville, West Virginia? Smithsonian went there whenever we had went and we were reading the narrative there. Smithsonian came there.
Smithsonian's been everywhere. And
took what? I'm like, evidence. I know exactly. It's like, these are mounds. These are grave mounds. They are not. It's not like there's I don't know anything. What is it that they took? Skeleton. They took bones. They took gems. We don't even know. You don't even know what they took, but it's obvious. The energy of it there is obvious that it's been raped of something that gave it more power.
They've taken what they think gives the place the power.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah.
It isn't something they can take, and they think by destroying the narrative and the story that they're taking even more from it. But you can't take the energy that's already there. The energy's there, and you can't do nothing about it. They can't. No matter what they do, all they can do is try to cover it up or hide it, or give you a false narrative or picture of this.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is with all these points that we've been to, is that you can still feel Mother in those places. You can still feel the great point that it was, and still is, We've only been to half of the Serpent Mound. For those that don't know, Serpent Mound's on the wheel, on the Pilot Mountain wheel, Vortice wheel. And it's one node, I call it, on the wheel. We've been to half of the nodes plus Pilot Mountain. So there's 8 nodes, and then Pilot Mountain's the ninth center point. And we've been to half of them. The half that we've been to are what I would consider sacred lands. They're still held by the Indians. They're still, for the most part, held by the Indians. They're turned into national parks, but the Indians still have a lot of claim over things. Not really. It's just an illusion for them to make them feel better about things, but they really have no control over any of the places, even though the governments make them feel as though they do. But like I said, the 4 that we've been to on the left-hand side of the circle are the sacred sides. We haven't been to the other half. The other half, in my opinion, are the negative sides. You have Washington, D.C., you have the Great Dismal Swamp, you have Cape Fear, and you have Parris Island Marine Corps Base. Those are the other 4 points that are on the wheel. When you look at those 4 points, they're very heavily active in the negative energy of this world right now. That's why I call the first 4 that we've been to the sacred points, and then I call the other 4 more of the negative points. The balance, the yin and yang. You know, if you look at the circle of it, and like with everything here, there's always a balance. There's always a positive and negative. So, in order for the vortice wheel to work right, it's not going to work properly with only negative, nor is it going to work properly with all positive. Right now, they're using majority of the negative, I believe, but that's why there's such an imbalance in this world, I think, because if we were using both sides, if there was a conjunction and a balance between both sides, it would be its great point like it used to be in the past. Because I believe that these places were way more than they tell us. I think that Pilot Mountain was a big giant castle on top of there that's been melted. That's my opinion. And I've been there and I've seen it and I've seen the rocks, and I believe in my heart and my whole soul that that is what it is. It was a great place for people to come to. Just the same as Serpent Mound was. I believe that Serpent Mound had a great city next to it. Moundsville, I believe, was a great city at one time. I believe that Standing Stone was a great city at one time. I believe that Stone Mountain, Georgia was a great city at one time. Not Atlanta. There was a great city beyond our imagination of things. Take the ancient works of things and multiply it by 100 is what we're in these places. And they've been completely destroyed, decimated, and just done away with because you can't control the narrative. You can't control people if they know these things. If we knew how great and how powerful we were, there would be no need for government. There is no need for government. There is no need for anybody to tell us how to do or what to do or how to do it. It's all in us already. Father has given us all the tools we need to survive this place. But this world wants us to believe that we're feeble and we're weak and we're sinful from birth and all these other negatives. They want us to hold from birth. We're supposed to hold a negative view of ourselves. Does that make sense? What fucking God in this world would do that? I don't want that God. I'm not worshiping that God. I'm not giving that God my energy. There's no fucking way. I'm giving my energy to the perfect Father, to the Father that created me, the Father that created us all, not this man-made version of it. And that's really what Jackie and R's biggest quest is just to try to find these truths, to find keys to opening, our true abilities and our true history of who we are, because a lot of the shit, we get started on when we become awake to things are just the stepping stones to, I believe, to prepare us for the journey of finding out who we really are. And the answers are there. They're here. We're just not seeing them, or we're seeing them, but we can't see the bigger picture yet. We haven't been able to put them all together yet, because I don't think we have all the pieces either. But we have a lot, and we can figure out a lot of this. But, excuse me, but you have to want to. And most of us have chosen that. And we've chosen to be better. We've chosen to know the truth. We've chosen to want to be what Father and Mother created us to be. We know we're more than this. And it's people like us that keeps this energy perpetuating and moving, so it never dies, it never forgets. It's people like us that eventually, through our dedication and our just will of wanting the truth to be the truth, will cause the balance to shift. It'll cause us to move back into more of a balance. And that's the trick that we have to find here, I believe, is that balance as a people. we have to find the balance with our own self first. But then once we find the balance in our own self, then the rest of it just falls in place. Because, you know, love thy neighbor like they love thyself. But if you don't love thyself,
Hey, Angela.
how in the hell are you going to love your neighbor? If you don't like yourself, you don't care for yourself, you don't have pride in yourself, how are you going to do that for somebody else? If you can't even do that for yourself, there's no way you're going to properly do it for somebody else. And that's where we have to be. We have to get ourselves in that proper place. If we do, then other things just become real easy. It doesn't mean the shit stops. It doesn't mean we're not going to get hammered by the negative, because, you know, just back, some might think, well, it's a contradiction. You know, you put out positive, you're going to get positive back. Well, you're also going to attract the negative, because the negative it's going to try to overtake the positive. It wants to be in control. It wants to have the say. And if we allow that to happen, then it happens as us. If we don't allow it, and like most of us have chosen, we've chosen not for that to be, then we grow and become more and bigger and stronger, and these doors start to open. Things make sense. Their narrative falls away. But you have to stay diligent, and you can't just give in just because things get hard, or just because, oh, I'm getting hit and hammered again. Well, here's the thing I've realized is that the stronger I get in my energies, and the stronger I get in my will of things, the harder I get hit, because it's kind of like some of the stories in the Bible. You could say it's like the devil's testing us. Oh, okay? So you say you're going to do this. You say you're this. So let's see. You know, you're tested all the time.
All the time.
And just because you've raised yourself up to a higher place, doesn't mean this world's still not going to hit you. Doesn't mean you're not going to have attacks. The way we deal with them and how they affect us should become less and less. But it still doesn't stop it from you. You're not going to stop it. There's that balance here. There's always that balance. There's always a negative with a positive. You can give positive with a positive and a negative with a negative, but you're still going to get it. It's just the way this world works. The way this realm works. What?
No, that's just that parked car was really close. Sorry.
Stop. I hate it when she does that. It makes me feel like I don't know how to drive. I'm a better driver than most. I have more hours behind the wheel than most people will ever have in their life.
Oh, I just hate that feeling when there's parked cars on the side of the road. It feels like
then just look away.
I'm sorry. I'll close my eyes. Oh, Allie's getting ready to read her book, I think, on her channel. All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to pause it here and take a break. We've been on for an hour.
Really?
60 minutes. Yep, we've been on for over an hour. So this was just a little chit chat while we drive, and I might pop back on. I'm going to charge my phone up a little bit more. We still have 3 more hours before we're there, so we might pop on again. And then I think tonight, depending on our signal, we're going to try and go live with Seven Spalding, see if we have anything we want to talk about tonight. And then we're definitely going to be going live from Serpent Mound tomorrow. So thank you guys all for popping in and listening to our what do we call it? Our ramble?
Babbles.
Our babbles. Our beautiful babbles, all you wonderful people. Thank you all for being random rants.
My rambling ramble. My random rambling.
We love you all, and thanks for hanging out with us for part of our drive. And we'll catch up with you soon. We'll be live later today, I'm sure. Okay, bye guys.
Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.